All right, look what we got. Finally, it came out. Got it probably, I saw it the week that it came out. Finally been watching it and picked it up. Got a good price on it. Had it watched on one of my favorite retailers, but eBay won out on this one. Guy was real aggressive on the price, so I picked it up. Just search eBay, sort by price on this one. He might still have it up. You'll see what I'm talking about. Pretty much the best out the door shipping I found. He should have still a little bit left, hopefully. But yeah, 118 scale by Greenlight. This is not an artisan vehicle. It's more like their Hollywood series 118 scale. This is more like set up like their normal 118 scale car. So it's got posable steering and a lot of opening features. This one's a lot of diecast. Shipping weight on this was 5.5 pounds almost. So real heavy, and all of that is the van. I mean, it's not the packaging. I only bought one item from the guy, so I mean, he packed it pretty tight, really good packaging. So my item arrived very good condition. But the box is just like the 124th van that you could buy right now for about $20. But there is more detail in this one, and we'll go through it. But not a lot of inaccuracy in the casting. I'd say that the 118 scale on this one is pretty true. Has almost the same construction. The running boards and the main body are cast as one piece. Same thing with the front air dam. That's all part of the body. So all die cast. What is plastic on this van is the roof, just like the 124 scale construction. And then we have a plastic chassis base. But again, molding is done really well, and it captures the General Motors castings really well. We'll take a look, but soak it in. Another great van by Greenlight. Probably might as well fill in the other two. Get the 143rd and the 164 scale van too, while they're still available. And I'll have a roundup on that eventually once I gather all of them. But let's take a look. This is the 118 scale. I'm looking at the 124 scale on the side here for a little bit, just while I'm talking about the two. But the wheels are really good on this. We'll look at the rear track. It should have been maybe extended out a little bit, but if you watch the series, you'll notice that some of the vans had different wheel and tire combinations, even though they were red. And they had the white letter tires. Some of the rear end, some of the tires were a little bit different. Stunt van, I would see a lot of times tires were a little bit the same width as the ones in the front, but this what kind of reminds me of that a little bit. We'll look at that. You'll see what I'm talking about when I swing it around the back. But same two-tone van configuration. It's got the big visor on it. It's got the roof lights. It's got that gray metallic paint, and their sunroof is on there too. Look up there real quick. You'll see. Really thick spoiler, but spoiler on that roof on that van, it was pretty big. I mean, it wasn't like a aero spoiler. It was really just for decoration almost. But you can see, look at that rear wheel. You can see how it kind of sits inside that fender. Let me see if I can focus it better. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Really, it could be fixed. All you got to do is just lengthen it a little bit, take those wheels off the axle. The rear setup is a solid axle, and the front is independent with a plastic kingpin setup on the steering linkage. I'm going to once I turn it over, you'll see. But grill's done real good. I wish I could remove the front brush guard so I could look at the GMC grill, but GMC grills that they've done for these vans have been really well all the way through the scales. Really does well. They did do the hood too on this one, so what I'm talking about is that peak on the hood, so it's not completely flat. A lot of people miss that on GMCs. There is a point here that it comes to, so that's done really well. Interior's done in that light gray color. There's the chassis. I mean, I'd say the front end sits really good. Sits low enough. A lot of times when you see the van on TV, it's a little bit more raked, meaning that the back end was just jacked up a little bit higher, like that. But I mean, again, it's a good van, a good price point. The only other van that could even hold a candle to this one right now is the Hot Wheels van. That van is over $100 new, and now it's like collector status. Since they stopped making it, it's gonna be like sometimes in excess of $200 now. So, but it's a good looking van. It does have some issues. There's some videos done on it. You'd be able to take them, just do a search. But this is the 1/18 scale by Greenlight. Like I said, I mean, it's really good. It's a solid side. So we're just taking a look at the outside. We'll show the moving features in a minute. Paint and body work really well done. I didn't see any issues with the division line on the paint or anything like that. Oops. Put that up there real quick. But yeah, here's the rear door. Those are fixed. They don't open. This bumper sticks out just the right amount. Alright, so before we open it up, let's look at the underside real quick. It does have the zoomy exhaust, so that's really cool. There's your, it's a simplified chassis. A lot of the cost of this thing is just tooling this bad boy up and getting the licensing. They did a pretty good job of getting it pretty well done. Again, you can see that rear track is just a little bit inset, but I could probably fix that. There's your licensing and your serial number. So it is serialized, just like most Greenlight vehicles. This might be a vehicle they have out for a while, if it proves to be popular. And it should be, it's good. They deserve to use this as a springboard to make more obscure vehicles for me. Hopefully this does real well for them. So yeah, good quality, very heavy vehicle. It's really good to have in the collection. I'll show you how it looks with the police cars and stuff. It really looks like you're watching the show. So open up the door. Doors swing open real well. They open up wide. They don't just open up halfway or anything. You can see that sunroof's up there too. And then this door, it does slide out, but you gotta be careful if you buy one of these. Pull it straight out, so it comes out like that, and then it slides. So it's like a 90-degree. It's not like the real van where it kind of slides at an angle as it slides back. It does slide back a little further, but it gets tighter. It does open up, and if we look inside a little bit, you'll see that there's a cabinetry in there that always kind of change depending on what episode you're in, but this one kind of represents the kind of that makeup cabinet that Hannibal used, and then the props that he had in the back. But sometimes they had a recording machine too, so I don't know, it just depends on the episode. The other thing about the interior is a little bit simplified, and I'd say these seats are kind of plain a little bit. They're kind of plain, so that's alright though. It's really good. You got the 4 bucket chairs in there, the captain's chairs, and you got that interior, that gray interior. And then we'll look on the other side, driver's area where old boy used to sit. And we got the pretty much a General Motors steering column in there, and then you got that smaller steering wheel that old BA put in there, classic steering wheel, 3-spoke. And you got your General Motors gauges that they used to have. So I mean, that's done pretty good. And here's your pedals. Kind of see that a little bit. But the construction is done well. Definitely has very a lot of heft to it. This almost feels like an older type truck that you'd buy kind of at the, like the Ertles Earl had one of these back in the day when the 18 was new. Earl had the licensing, and these vans are 1/16 scale pressed steel. So that thing you could run off the top of your house and it'd be alright. But there she is in all she's glory. And yep, you got the steering. Yeah, I really can't use it from the steering wheel. It's not very strong, so you gotta be careful. But it's definitely good for posing it, and it rolls real good too. Very nicely done by Greenlight. Here's the box, just like the 1/24 scale box. Just open it up. There's no tape or anything. It's nice. Really good box. And it's got the quotes on the back, and then if you want the code, got some licensing. Yep. Got Stephen J. Cannell and B.F. Goodrich. So everybody's involved in this one. Oh, there she is. 1/18 scale. Finally added to the collection. And, you know, the guy's always had a problem. Take a look here, just so you can see the scale difference. Thought you guys might like that. So there's your 1/24th, or what they call 1/24th. We all kind of debunked that a little bit. It's a little bit undersized, but it's kind of funny to see them next to each other. You can see how similar they are. I'd say the 1/24th scale one is a little bit lighter in color. It's a little bit more silverish than the 1/18 scale one. But there they are. The old A-Team. Hope you enjoyed it. More to come.